Hello. It's 30 minutes right here on City TV. My name is Philip Ashon. I'm in the studio with
AJ Sarpong.
We have a lot to vibe about, but of course today it is the day that we finally laid, one of Africa's greatest sons to rest. Finally, after 3 days of funeral services and arrangements and everything, finally we've laid Kofi Annan to rest, and it was a very, very interesting event. We're bringing excerpts of that, and of course your reactions on social media as well.
Yep, and also congratulations to Sam, as we've been adjudged the best, the media house with the best social media presence. Yeah, hence 30 minutes. Well, that is what we got at the GH, or the Ghana Blogging Awards. That was happening at Social Media Week. We're bringing you all the reactions on that. And the new iPhone, people's pockets. Oh my God. Well, it's been unveiled. Is it on fleek? Is it not? Are there going to be? Anyways, we'll bring you all the social media reactions. People are being hilarious as always. We're going through them right here on 30 minutes. So you know how to get interactive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Very
you
simple.
could just send us a message using the hashtag 30 minutes across social media platforms, and we'll be getting to those comments in just a bit. But then the conversations are going to get really heated. We have so many coming your way. Don't go anywhere. This is 30 minutes on. It was a very, very interesting ceremony, very somber ceremony that we all witnessed on the Accra International Conference Center all the way to the burial place today. And that is indeed the burial ceremony, or the funeral ceremony of the statesman, the one who puts Ghana on the map, the one who didn't need titles ahead of his name, Kofi Annan. Kofi Atta Annan. We laid him finally to rest today. And it was a very, very somber ceremony. All the speeches that were given on the day, everything else really came together very, very well. And AJ, I just have to say that when all things are considered, when you look at the life of this man, it's very, very clear that he's had such an impact on the globe, on the people of the world. And in the ceremony today, it was very, very clear that people will remember him fondly, and people have so much good things to say about him. And it was such a refreshing thing to see, especially from a Ghanaian point of view.
No, I found it very touching. There were nice words being said. So many various dignitaries from all across the world flew in for it, and it's only a man with such a presence and has lived such an amazing life to have the whole world eulogizing him and telling everyone else that, you know what, this man was a gem, and we're probably never going to have someone like him.
Yes, indeed.
Sad.
And I'm guessing that is why the old students of his former school in Fansipim basically came out, in song, in respect of him, in trying to remember him for all the good things that he did for them. I mean, there were so many stories about him when he was in school, how he was leading student politics, fighting as a dining hall prefect and everything. Everybody had some really, really good things to say about him. And it's interesting how the old boys came together and actually sang, in honor of him. And we'll just get a bit of that singing right about now, and you just get to see what exactly we're talking about when we talk about the love that the old students had for him. And that is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The fact that all of them came together, singing so harmoniously together, and it was really, really touching. The entire ceremony, everything was really touching about it, you know. And what was the most striking thing?
The fact that the current Secretary General, United Nations Secretary General, came into town to come and pay his respects, spoke about how good a man he was, gave some nice thoughts on him, and it's nice to see the entire world, from both the diplomatic corps to diplomats, the UN, to people from various political divides, and everyone just put aside everything that's happening in the day to pay their respect to an amazing man.
Yes, indeed.
Charlie,
yes, indeed. I mean, that's basically what he was. He was an amazing man, and we are proud to have him as a Ghanaian. We're proud to call him a Ghanaian and associate with him. And like people always say, whenever you go someplace and you talk about the fact that you're Ghanaian, there are a couple of things that pop up. You know, football,
Kofi
Annan. It's just one of these things. And it's really, really interesting that we find ourselves in that space. But a lot of you have also been sending your farewell wishes to the statesman who passed away. We'll be getting to some of those farewell wishes. Aminata Jabi basically says, we will always remember you in our prayers for peace in the world. May the Lord grant you peace and love. That's coming from Aminata on Facebook. Moving on to some other comments on social media. The man Kofi Annan was really a legend. Running commentary got me to learn about his over 20 honorary degrees from all over the world. That's coming from Apalu_Selikem on Twitter. Atitobe Anthony Kwabla says, rest in peace with the Lord, our humble and peace-loving hero. Fare thee well. Amen.
Amen to that. Well, at Baboro, I'm not sure. Baboro, heaven is where you belong, Big Daddy. R.I.P. Absolutely.
Nice.
Another comment coming in on Facebook. Bishop Richard Ayiku says, R.I.P. Kofi Annan. The world will remember you, a son of Africa who came to seek peace. He really did. Well, I know that Asari says, have eternal rest, Busumuru Kofi Annan. I shall continue to have a mentor in you. Your life and works will be remembered by your compatriots in the great land of Africa.
Yes, indeed.
I'm so sad because he was the one person I really wanted to interview.
Yeah, I know. Right? I know.
I didn't even get to see him.
All you have to do is just move to Zurich, but that's another conversation for another day. Moving on to some more comments on Twitter. We salute you, Uncle. This is a farewell, but your legacy, inspiration, and fire will continue to live through in the next generation in which you have continued to hope. We love you. Hashtag Deye, Uncle Kofi. And that's coming from @Derek Kenzo on Twitter. Moving on to some other comments real quick. And Hassan Rogers says, General of Peace and Conflict Resolution. We will miss you in time of crisis and peace. You played your part well, and God will pay you for it. And that's coming from Hassan Rogers on Facebook.
We're going into another on Facebook. Karina Praki says, the world these days does not often unite. However, we are spontaneously and deeply united in our grief at your passing. Yeah. May you rest in eternal peace. Very true words. Very, very true words. Well, another comment coming in from Kin Polly Math says, a very wonderful role model for Ghanaian youth and youth around the world. Rest in perfect peace.
And he will. Yeah. And he will. At Kuminado says on Twitter, I took my seat at the state funeral, hashtag Kofi Annan. I'm very aware today that Ghana has lost one of its finest sons. Africa has lost a giant. The world has lost a moral compass.
It's true.
The world indeed has lost a moral compass. And finally, Monica Akoma says on Facebook, when you really were alive, you brought the world together. Today, you are no more with us, but you still brought the world to Ghana. Say, may your soul rest in peace.
Uniting us both in life and in death.
Yes, indeed. And it's very clear that Ghanaians are proud of him. The world is proud of him.
Very much
and like his son said, we need to learn lessons from him.
Yes.
We need to learn some of the ideals that he stood for and live by those ideals as a human. But of course, there is no way that something like this, something as monumental as this, will go without controversy. First of all, there were people complaining, for example, about why a private ceremony, as it was advertised, was be very private but became very public because it was publicized for everybody to see. Then, of course, came the biggest question: where is the body? As to why this was an issue, I even don't know. But then a lot of people, and we had so many people who had issues with this. A lot of you felt that the body was missing.
And I'm not sure. Okay, so I understand why people will assume it. Ghanaians, as we are as a people, are very funeral centered. We make funerals a big deal in this country. I mean, we will spend thousands of cedis to do a big funeral, and because it's almost like a money making venture to a large extent. And I was honestly very shocked when I realized that we are the only people in, and at least this side of Africa, that collects in Sawa.
Right.
At the end of every, you have to.
I didn't know that.
Apparently, in other countries they don't. It's you come to the funeral, you're done, you go. But here you must contribute something to the funeral.
Well, I mean,
it's a hand.
It's a community kind of thinking,
and it's understandable.
We're all coming together to help out.
And the adage that the funeral or something like that, and then the body almost automatically belongs to the family, and the family makes those kinds of decisions. You as even if you married a man for 100 years, once the man falls or the woman falls, it belongs to the family. So we have a lot of cultural practices that surround that. So people want to pay their respect not to a casket but to the man himself. Because let's also note that a lot of people may have heard of the man but had never seen him before, and so they felt this was their last point in time to ever see a man before he's put to the earth. And then we really do only believe things sometimes too when see the person lying there.
Well,
you may not believe
it's very clear that a lot of you were not so happy with all of this, and we are going to take a couple of the comments that you have been posting on social media. I support the mourners. This coming from Asinga Nehemiah. Why should they be made to walk around a closed casket looking at the guy?
Oh my God!
Like, anyway, so that's coming from Asinga Nehemiah. It makes sense for them not to open the casket for people to see. Trust me, social media would have been buzzing with images of the corpse of the global icon. Prevention is better than cure. That is a message I completely support. Champion Roger on Facebook. Moving on to some other comments, the authorities have finally come to the realization that there is no need for them to open the casket for people to take unnecessary pictures to post on social media. Good practice. That's coming from Colin Sopoku.
But also in that defense though, Vice President Ms. Arthur, the picture didn't circulate. So I think it can be controlled if you wanted to.
It can.
It can. That perhaps. But DJ Kantanka says maybe he opted to be cremated, so the casket out there may only contain a decorated log from Switzerland and some trimmed artificial fingernails. Wow.
Oh my God!
I think this was a myth that was circulating on social media. People were just speculating so many things.
Oh my goodness! Anyway, moving on to some other comments. Della Goldhouse says on Facebook, I was also skeptical if his body is indeed in the casket. We all know that the West is what the West is capable of. With new technology at hand and many possibilities of the future, or for the future, things are being done to dead bodies. Some superpowers may want him preserved just in case. If you know, you know.
Conspiracy theories, I
can't even believe it.
He's been.
If they are going to store the body, they are going to store you while you're alive.
Maybe he's been frozen.
Anyway, you know what? Moving on. Florence Zinel says, when I watch his body being carried out, I was like, why are 4 people carrying this guy? Because I usually see 6. Is he so light that one guy pulled the coffin into the plane with the others on the ground? I wouldn't be surprised if that coffin is empty. Conspiracy, man. Conspiracy, Florence. Anyway, moving on. Gershon SK Joby says on Facebook, sometimes if I see Ghanaians fancy funerals, this is one of the reasons. The casket being closed made someone unhappy. Gosh. Are you there to mourn or to seek happiness?
It shocks me.
Gershon, wherever you are, I'm giving you a hug. I'm giving you a huge hug.
Two buffaloes for him.
I'm giving you a huge hug wherever you are. Some other messages.
John Kofi says, okay, well, Joy Sparkle says, in my village, people don't contribute funeral money if they don't see the corpse. So,
we want to know where that particular place is. Kwame Christian says on Facebook, is it really necessary for the casket to be opened? Just mourn and go. After all, we are not his family. We are not his family members to make any decisions for his burial. Well,
the final one coming in from Leonard Kofi Apia says, some Ghanaians are necessary brouhaha. How does this affect the city? That question, that question that you have.
Oh, man.
It is, man. But okay, so I get where everyone is coming from,
right?
And I understand that some people really need to see the body.
Why do you need to see the body?
This is me, and this is my thing. I saw my grandmother's body when I was like 5 years old, and I've been scarred since then.
It's traumatizing.
Until I was 15, I couldn't even pass by a cemetery and look up
really
for the car.
Traumatizing.
I would bury my head, and it was because of that particular occurrence that has made me. I don't go to funerals. I don't look at bodies. I don't go to cemeteries. I think my first time going to a cemetery was when I was 21. So it's honestly very traumatizing for a young person to see a body. I don't know why we're so fixated on it.
I guess because we are so used to the fact that a dead body will be open, or we will see the dead body, so we just want it.
I don't understand. No, people want to ask, Osisayana, and Osisayo,
and like, I don't know. Anyway, so when we come back, we're going to get to some more social media commentary about some interesting releases. Yes, indeed. The iPhone range decided to splurge a little on a couple of new devices. We have 3 devices plus an update to the watch as well to bring you right here on 30 Minutes.
We'll be right back.
Quero ver todo mundo balançando. Ninguém pode ficar parado. Essa loucura. Mexe.
Witness the twisted and tangled story of betrayal, greed, vengeance, and love in the award-winning Brazil Avenue. Carmenia, a woman led by greed, gets rid of her husband, who is Rita's father, and sends Rita away to a filthy landfill. Rita finds love in Batata, but they are soon separated by adoption into different families, far away from each other. Many years later, all paths cross again, as Rita, now a renowned chef, seeks to pay back her stepmother for taking away her happiness as a child. It's a story of twists, turns, suspense, and thrilling action in Brazil Avenue. Brazil Avenue, coming soon only on City TV. Brazil Avenue.
Every Thursday night on City TV, you're welcome to join women from different backgrounds and opinions as they weigh in on your relationship issues. Watch Sister Sister as the ladies get real with issues about love, marriage, betrayal, sex, dating, trust, finances, and more.
And his goals and aims and ambitions, including like marital life or children. You should know that from the beginning. And when you have a deep conversation, you should be able to sense the vibe or the energy, but you should have that conversation so that you know what you're going in for. And then you advise yourself upon what you want and what the person wants.
Join Jessica and her sisters for City TV's all-women talk show, Sister Sister, every Thursday at 9 p.m.
And you're tuned in to 30 Minutes right here on City TV, talking all the trending social media conversations. And one thing that has headed straight to the top of the trends is the new iPhone. It's been unveiled initially there seemed to be some leakages going on because people were seeing what we assumed would be it, and it thankfully turned out to be the same thing. So there are 3 new models. That's the new thing they brought out right now. It's going to be the XS, XS Max, and then XR. The thing was even confusing me. But Philip, of course, the host of City Trends, will be giving us some details of the XS, XR, XS Max. Philip, so I'm confused.
So basically, 3 new devices. We have the XS Max being the flagship, like the proper flagship. Then we have the XS being sort of like an upgrade on the iPhone X, which was released last year as a celebration of iPhone, you know, basically coming around with 10 years. So then we also have the XR, which is basically sort of like a reformulated version of the X, basically. Now, a lot of people say there are not a lot of differences, but what at least I know Apple has done is to do a lot of changes in terms of the system.
So they're also going to do the face identification. That's
the face identification
standard for all of them.
Has made faster across all the new devices. Okay. All the 3 new devices have been, the face identification has been made faster. As of course it was released last year in the iPhone X. So it's been updated, it's been made faster. There are lots of things that are happening in the background of the device, including artificial intelligence, learning a lot more about you, being quicker, being better. So you might not necessarily see it as such a different phone, apart from, of course, the XS Max, which is much larger than the XR. But then there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So, for example, one of the really cute things that they've done, for example, now is that you can do a dual SIM, basically on the iPhone, which is amazing. You know, so there's a lot that has gone on behind the scenes. But these are just a few pictures that we have for you, a couple of videos just to show you what the launch basically was about. And when we come back, we'll just run you through some of the specs that you should expect from these 3 devices released by Apple.
Well, the iPhone XS is not just one, it's 458 pixels per inch again. So what do you call a phone that's bigger than plus size? Well, we call it the iPhone XS Max. So now you can up to 512 gigabytes of internal storage if you want. It is a remarkable new dual camera system, the iPhone XR. And we hope it reaches even more customers with this amazing, incredible technology. White, black, blue, coral, yellow, each beautifully designed with that aluminum finish, the glass on the back. It's an LCD display.
Yes. So yeah, a lot of people are kind of like weirded out because with the release, for example, of the Samsung Note 9, Samsung basically went ahead and said, you know what, internal memory is 512 and the expanded memory is 512. So you have the opportunity of walking around with 1 terabyte of memory. That's crazy. But then, as you would know, the iPhone does not come with expanded memory, so you're basically stuck with 512. Like a lot of the things that Apple talked about yesterday, you would hope that it would be an improvement, for example, on some of the things that Samsung released, but it doesn't seem like that. People just have these misgivings about it. People just feel that it is just a gimmick to basically make more money. But then if you're an iPhone user, trust me, this device will get you very excited because there's a lot that is happening behind the scenes that make the device better. We all know that the facial recognition on the iPhone is world class. It's better than any other device. There's a lot that happens. But, people have a lot to say about the release. And so let's get straight into some comments on social media.
Well, as Abekudi says, bought an iPhone 7 Plus following 3 new sets of iPhones are announced. A year after, 3 more announced. Technically, 6 iPhones behind a phone that's just 2 years old.
Sorry.
Story of all of us, our lives. Well, going into Alpha Jato, who says iPhone XS Max should have just been named iPhone X Max because at this surprised unless someone gives it to you as a gift.
You're never going to be able to afford it. You're never going to be able to afford it.
Oh my goodness. More messages?
No money in Ghana. No money in Ghana. This iPhone XR and iPhone XS, that just came out. Enter Ligon KNUST next month. You will see it everywhere. Ghanaians know they carry last. I tell you no lie.
The way it's like a Sato say.
I'm telling you. As DJ there on Twitter at Satawale GH. Good morning. I trust you are doing well. I heard you are the richest man in Ghana music industry. Please, can you purchase me an iPhone XS Max 512 capacity? LOL. Yes, laugh at yourself because that is exactly what Satawale will be doing to you. And that's coming on Twitter. I am in Ketia there with that message. To some more comments, it's Kid Breezy says, I'm sure if you're a child of an MP in Ghana, you've already pre-ordered the new iPhone.
And those of us that are not there, well, another one coming in, Jack Lee. The iPhone is starting to look like an Android phone. Oh, Charlie. Moving into last comment, KK Zane says, Cashier, here is your iPhone XS for $999. How do you intend on paying? Cash, credit card, debit card, mobile money?
That is how you're going to end up paying for that particular device with your kidney. That's exactly how you end up paying for the device. You know what? But yeah, you can always tune in on City Trends every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on City FM. And next week, actually, we are reviewing the device on the show, so you can tune in and enjoy it. But that's not all that's happening. A big congratulations to City FM because it was the station was adjudged, you know, basically the institution with the best social media usage, and it's a big deal. This is like the third year running that we've done it, and we are more than happy to share this with you out there because it is you who interact with our content that makes us what we are. So a big thank you to you. And of course, you can see on your screens there Mauli Chikata, who is head of our digital media, receiving the award there with Mr. Eric Gamo at Social Media Week. And as you know, Social Media Week has been running for 3 days or 4 days now. It's been a very successful event as it was last year.
And then, so yes, congratulations to the entire team here at City FM, and especially all those that have been handling all the digital media, because they have been doing great things. We keep churning out what you need. Well, yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be going through all of Social Media Week, the launch, some of the amazing days, and everything else. So here is where you want to be for all the updates that you may have missed about Social Media Week.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
You know, I think we should give everybody just a bit of a taste of what Social Media Week has looked like, just a little. So this is just a sneak peek of what you probably missed from Social Media Week this week. Just a few bits just for you to enjoy.
Social media is very big in getting things to Ghana.
Harry, how do you hide? There's a need for you to change the package.
Yes. So as you can see, it's been pretty hectic. It's been pretty intense. Lots to learn, lots to share, lots of great networking. And yeah, we'll be bringing you some more highlights in the show tomorrow.
Absolutely.
But then, of course, you know we can't leave you just like that.
No, we cannot. We're going to throw it back because, you know, today is Throwback Thursday to a video. Back in the day. We'll leave you to enjoy. But let's wrap up on that note. My name is AJ Sarpong.
And my name is Philip Ashon. It's been a pleasure coming your way.
Always.
We're going to see you tomorrow. So you're going.
So sad to say goodbye. Bye.
Madam,
My wife.
I don't see.
And where is Apalahala?
Apalahala, 2 double, I don't see.
You are in this house, you haven't seen Apalahala, and not even my wife. Where is Ajwa?
Ajwa, you are picking. The wife is pick Ajwa inside the car with 2 double. Omoko. When no come here?
Yes, I'm asking you if you're going.
Now I am a boss.